Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Epic 7 Shouju Pool video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking about the two current banners that are running on the Covenant drop rate up banners, and that is going to be Peira and Choux. That being said, before we get started with this video, if you guys aren't already participating in my Instagram giveaway, make sure you guys check that out on Instagram. It's really easy to get started. All you guys have to do is follow me and like the post. So starting off, let's talk about Peira. So Peira is an ice thief, and she is a very strong unit. Let's talk about what her skills do so you guys can kind of get a sneak peek at what she actually excels at. So we have her S3, guys. It is going to be an AoE attack buff for her team before granting stealth, escort, and a barrier for herself for 3 turns, and this barrier increases proportional to her own level. The barrier is very thick. Stealth makes it so that she can't really get popped out and focused down or stripped by a single target strip, such as Mediator Cowrick and stuff like that. Escort is very nice, as you're going to see. It kind of works like an Aureus, where you're going to be soaking damage, but it won't really affect her HP bar because she has that barrier. The attack buff is very strong as well, because you guys know that attack buffs are just really strong, right? S2, AoE attack, is going to be decreased buff durations by 1 turn before restricting and putting unbuffable for 2 turns, and this will also grant her an extra turn. So the standard rotation, guys, is the S2 into the S3, and you have a very powerful opener. You put on unbuffable, restrict, and you also put up that attack buff and mitigation for your team. Her S1 is going to be a single target attack with a 40% chance to stun once you Mulgora this, and you can also increase the effect chance by 25% if you have a barrier, which you're getting from that S3, right? Also, you can soul burn this to increase the effect chance to 100%, making her very annoying if you have souls. A lot of people actually run her on Rihanna and Luciella. If you guys didn't know, it is an artifact that has a chance to grant you an extra turn because of the fact that you can actually S2 and S3, and you have 2 chances to proc it. You can try to get your S1 off after. It's really annoying to deal with. You'll see it on Peira all the time, especially in Guild Wars defense. Peira is very good in Guild Wars defense, like I just prior mentioned, and she's also very good in World Arena, and she's also very good as a cleave unit. You can use her as an opener for cleave, very commonly paired with units like Summertime Assaria, or you can use her just as an opener in general with like a fast aggressive team, and she is very powerful. Her base speed is extremely high, and you can actually easily take the first turn with her. Definitely recommend pulling her if you want to get into PvP. She's a very powerful unit, especially for Guild Wars defense. If you guys very favor, playing aggressively and cleaving, she's a very strong unit in that regard. Just keep in mind there are some counters out there, right? You can use like Green Violet, you can use DJ Bassar. There's a lot of answers to her, and any cleansers can really mess her S2 up. So just keep in mind that there are answers to her in the current meta. That being said, let's talk about her artifact real quick, Goblet of Oath. This is going to be effectiveness increase after using a non-attack skill. You'll decrease your skill cooldowns. This goes up to 30% effectiveness, but this works very well on level 15 without any limit breaks because of the fact that you just need that cooldown reset. Very good on Peira because your S3 will actually make it so that your S2 comes up faster, but I personally recommend using RNL, especially if you use her in Guild Wars defense. If you want to use her more in RTA and more aggressively in more bruiser comps and kind of like control comps, then Goblet of Oath is very good and more consistent. That being said, let's talk about Choux. So Choux, guys, very powerful, annoying unit in PvP as well. Let's talk about her skills real quick. She just recently got the Epic Pass skin, which you guys should definitely buy if you guys want to use her. It's a free way, not a free way, but you just pay Sky Stones instead of money to actually get a skin. Her S2, guys, or S3, sorry, Help Me Cream, interesting name. It's going to be an AoE attack that will give your team increased hit resistance and will also give herself immunity for 2 turns, and this damage scales proportional to her own max HP. She's another HP scaling bruiser, guys. You guys probably already know that HP scaling bruisers are super strong right now, so Choux is no different. When the skill is unavailable due to cooldown count, after an ally except for the caster is attacked, you have a 20% chance to counter. So very similar to how Charles works on Elbrus Ritual Sword. You can basically just think of this as an Elbrus Ritual Sword when this is on cooldown. Just a very annoying passive to have. Now we have her S2, guys. It is going to be a single target attack that will also heal her, and it will penetrate the defense of the enemy by 70%. And when the caster's stacked focus is at 5, you'll use all your focus to reset the cooldown of this, and this damage will also scale with your max attack. This does crazy damage. Like if this goes off on a squishy unit and it crits, it will pretty much one-shot them. It's really insane. Very similar to how Charles works. Now we have Choux's S1, guys. This is a single target attack that will increase your CR by 15%, and when you crit, you'll also double the amount of focus gained, and you're going to see that this also will scale proportional to your own max HP. You can also also soul burn this for an extra turn, but most of the time, guys, you're not going to be soul burning this because of the fact that, you don't really need to take extra turns on Choux because she's mostly going to be a counter unit. She's a very, very strong unit to pick because of the RNG factor she has with that random chance to counter. If you put her on counter set, actually what will happen is people focus her down. She has a chance to counter still, because if you don't have her on that counter set, keep in mind if she gets attacked, she will not have that chance to counter. And you also have an exclusive equipment where if you actually crit with your S1, you have a 35% chance, I believe, to actually proc your S2 after. So what happens is people focus her or her team, and there's always that butt clenching moment, and you're praying that Choux does not counter. And if she does, you're clenching again and praying that she does not activate her S2, because this S2 hits super hard. Even against tanks, guys, like you can pretty much almost one-shot them. This is how powerful Choux is. And if you guys have fought against the Choux, you guys already know that it is a huge RNG fest. If she counters, you're pretty much screwed. If she doesn't counter, she's still a pretty decent unit because of the fact that you can reset the cooldown on your S2 if you cycle. But, mostly scared of that counter attack into that S2. Choux, guys, very powerful PvP unit. You can use her in defense teams because of that RNG element, makes her very, very powerful. And also in RTA or World Arena, she's a very good ice damage dealing unit. Just anything that scales with max HP, guys, is going to be good right now because of the fact that, HP scaling is just kind of dumb. You can build your units tanky with like 250 crit damage and they just hit super hard. That is no different with Choux, guys. You can build her tanky and just on 250% crit damage and she can pretty much wreak havoc on the enemies. So very powerful unit. Definitely recommend picking her up as well. These two units are very good, especially for PvP. I'd say if you are looking more as a cleaver, then Peira is probably better or more aggressive. If you're a more standard player, then Choux is a very good option as well. Both of these units are very good on Guild Wars defense. That being said, let's talk about Choux's artifacts. Snow Crystal. So Snow Crystal, guys, increases crit hit resistance, and after the caster suffers a non-critical hit, you'll increase CR by 8%. If you max this out at plus 30, it'll be 16. Very, very strong on Choux because of the fact that this actually stacks with your S3. Your S3 gives you crit hit resistance buff by 50%. You can put this on her, and then she can actually, go up to 70%, so it makes her very tanky. A lot of people actually use this on Choux. Other people will use like Draco Plate or other options such as even like Alencia's artifact or even Edward Elric's artifact, but I personally like to run mine on Snow Crystal because of the fact that she cycles very fast with this as well, and you can get your S3 back very, very quickly and use it for that huge crit hit resistance buff for your team, because it is a very good way to mitigate damage, right? Just not getting crit is a huge damage mitigation. That being said, guys, that's pretty much it for this Choux video. Both these units are very good for PvP. For PvE, not that great. I think, if you're more aggressive, Peira is definitely the way to go. If you are into more bruiser type style, then Choux is a very good option. That being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.